Subcompact cars were never really Chevrolet's strongest vehicles until they rolled out the Sonic a few years ago. It proved to the Asian brands that Chevrolet could finally provide a subcompact that was competitive and compete with heavy hitters like the Honda Fit. So without any significant refresh in a couple of years, is it still competitive in 2016? Well, let's go ahead and find out and check out this 2016 Chevrolet Sonic. Now, not much has changed for the 2016 model year for the Sonic as far as cosmetics go. It's still pretty much the same vehicle that rolled out in the 2012 model year. They haven't made any significant changes to the exterior design. Now, there are some changes in store for the 2016 model year. Essentially, the Chevrolet MyLink infotainment system comes standard on every single trim level except for the base LS trim. And then also, the LTZ trim no longer can be had with a manual transmission, and a CD player is now gone across all the board. Now here goes the key fob design for the Sonic. You have your remote keyless entry. It's your typical General Motors key fob. You have your unlock, your lock, and then you have your panic alarm too. And it is a switchblade key as well. And then our trim of the Sonic we also have here is the base LS trim, and it's also the hatchback form. You can also get a sedan version too. Now this color of the Sonic is known as the Silver Ice Metallic. You also do have a full-on gray cloth interior. Full manual driver's seat adjustments with manual recline. Alright, now stepping on inside of the Sonic here, it's a decent looking cabin design, especially for the base trim level. The ease of ingress and egress is also decent as well. I wouldn't say it's the best in the class. I think the best in the class when it comes to ease of ingress and egress is the Nissan Versa or the Honda Fit. What you're hearing there is a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine.
This vehicle is in demonstration.
Coming to your transmission, you have a 6-speed automatic, which is optional. You also do have manual shiftability. And you also do have your parking brake right here too. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the lights. Hazards. Manual windows. Let's go ahead and pop up the hood, check out the engine bay. "15-inch steel wheels. Coming up front, you have halogen headlights. I love the style of these headlights. They kind of remind me of a motorcycle. Alright, now powering the little Sonic here, we have a little tiny 1.8 liter Inline 4-cylinder engine that produces 138 horsepower at 6,300 RPM and 125 pound-feet of torque at 3,800 RPM. Now this is your base powertrain, and I recommend avoiding this powertrain because of its very lackluster fuel economy. You're looking at EPA estimates with this 6-speed automatic of 24 in the city and 35 on the highway. Many mid-sized sedans with their optional stronger powertrains can get those numbers. This is pretty lackluster fuel economy numbers here. It is front wheel drive also, but thankfully there is an optional stronger powertrain available. There's a 1.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo that's available. I recommend going with that powertrain and not this one, because this one just does not provide the fuel efficiency for how much power it has and for how small this vehicle is too. Now, pricing of the Sonic for the hatchback model only starts at the LS trim, which starts at $14,945, which is what we have here. The mid trim level LT starts at $16,755. The Sporty RS model starts at $20,095. And then the top of the line LTZ starts at $20,345. Competitors of the Sonic, you have the vehicles in the subcompact car class. This includes the likes of the Ford Fiesta, Toyota Yaris, Nissan Versa, and the Honda Fit. The Nissan Versa is the best-selling one in the subcompact car class. Coming to the rear of the vehicle, you have a rear window wiper with a rear window defroster and a third brake light. EPA estimates, like I said, are 24 in the city, 35 on the highway. Total vehicle price is $17,130. Manual windows, power door locks, pretty interesting there. Hard touch armrest, that's to be expected for one of Chevrolet's cheapest vehicles. Now, build quality and materials are pretty much going to be the same no matter what trim level you get for the Sonic. Now, materials could definitely use some upgrading in the Sonic, but build quality is okay inside of here. Up here on the upper door panel, hard touch plastic, mid door panel armrest, dashboard is all hard touch. Pretty much everywhere you touch is going to be hard touch plastic. But that's kind of to be expected when you buy a subcompact car. You're not buying a luxury vehicle here. However, the car that has the best materials and build quality is certainly the Honda Fit. Coming down here, you also do have a little storage cubby, and then you have dual cup holders, traction control off button, and then you have a 12 volts power outlet as well. Of course, you have your OnStar. Now, coming to the steering wheel design language, this is Chevrolet's old steering wheel design, and it still works. It's still fairly stylish, and this is actually kind of a stylish steering wheel, especially for a base trim level. At least it's not all the way bare to the bones, and you at least have steering wheel mounted audio controls and voice recognition and Bluetooth phone controls right there. But not too shabby looking of a steering wheel, but I do rather much prefer Chevrolet's new steering wheel design language. Now, coming to the gauges, I love the gauges in the Sonic, and this is the only Chevrolet vehicle that has gauges like this, and they look like they came off of a motorcycle, which is pretty cool. Over here you have your tachometer, and then in the center right there you have a digital speedometer, and then you have your fuel gauge, and then your fuel range is also located right there. You have an integrated compass, shows you what gear you're in, and then you have your odometer too. And then right down here below is your warning messages. You have your instrument windshield wipers as well. Coming over here is where you will find another power door lock switch, and you have one right here too. And then you have your climate controls, very simple, easy to use, very clean looking layout, of course. They kind of feel clunky to use at times, however. You have your fan speeds, and then your temperatures, and then your different zones too. This knob right here, this dial, certainly feels very clunky to use. Now, coming to the radio, this is your base radio. Like I said earlier in the video, if you step up to a LT trim and above, every Sonic is going to have the Chevrolet MyLink infotainment system. This is the only trim level that's going to have the base radio. Now you do have AM, FM, no CD player here. They got rid of the CD player for 2016. And then you have your presets right here and then your auxiliary input too. You also do have your seat buttons right here and then your tune knob. And then you have your different media with your auxiliary input. Now you also do have a little side armrest right here, which helps out on comfort quite a lot. At least they do offer that, but no center console here. As far as visibility goes in the Sonic, it's okay, not too shabby. Rearward visibility isn't too bad. Seeing out of the windshield is pretty good as well. Up here we also do have a little storage compartment too. Then you also do have a little storage cubby right here and right here too. Seating comfort is pretty good in the Sonic, and I love the amount of side bolstering they have on these seats, which helps out quite a lot with the amount of support it has. And then the thigh support is pretty good too. I would probably take this vehicle on a long road trip, and these seats are nice and plush as well. Now, as far as the way the Sonic drives, now this vehicle is one of the better handling vehicles in the subcompact car class. Next to the Ford Fiesta, that's another great handling subcompact car. But especially when you get the RS trim for the Sonic, this vehicle can be quite fun to drive, I have to say. But I would certainly go for that 1.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo, as this 1.8 liter 4-cylinder, while it's not lacking power, it's lacking the fuel efficiency that you would expect out of a subcompact car. The ride quality is not an issue in the Sonic, but it's not the most comfortable riding vehicle in the class, especially in the RS trim. However, what I certainly recommend avoiding is this 1.8 liter 4-cylinder if you're looking for better fuel efficiency. If fuel efficiency is an important factor, then you definitely want to go either with a different vehicle or just step up to the 1.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo, which has more power and okay fuel efficiency numbers. All right, and let's go ahead and shut down. All right, now driving the Sonic, if you're looking for a subcompact car that's fun to drive, then the Sonic should satisfy, especially in the RS trim. This vehicle feels nimble around corners, and you can feel for where this car is trying to go. Now, one car that does come close to it in its fun to drive nature is the Ford Fiesta, certainly, and the Ford Fiesta ST. Now, if you're looking for a comfortable riding vehicle, this car is somewhat comfortable riding. However, it's not the most comfortable car in the class. It doesn't provide a very super quiet highway ride or anything like that. But what I certainly recommend avoiding on the Sonic here is this 1.8 liter 4-cylinder, as it just doesn't live up, the fuel efficiency doesn't live up to how small this vehicle is and how much power it has as well. Now, the Sonic doesn't feel anemic, but it's just the fuel efficiency is just not there, and it certainly needs to be better. I would certainly go for the 1.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo, as it provides more power and similar or better fuel efficiency than this 1.8 liter we have here. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and shut down the Sonic. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Build quality and materials do follow through in the rear. Hard touch plastic everywhere. The rear seats also do fold down 60-40 split. Now, sitting back here in the Sonic, it's not too shabby. You actually have a decent amount of headroom, and legroom isn't too bad back here. You have a single cup holder and a single map pocket, and you also do have rear adjustable headrests. The seating comfort back here isn't too bad. The thigh support is okay, and they have a decent amount of plushness to them as well. Overall, not too bad of an experience back here. All right. Of course, one reason why people would choose a Sonic hatchback over a Sonic sedan is the utility. And with the seats all folded up, you're looking at 14.9 cubic feet of cargo space. You have your cargo net right here too. And like I said, the seats do fold down 60-40 split. You have this little handle which helps out quite a lot when lowering the door. Full manual passenger seat. You also do have a little storage compartment right here and the glove box. Kind of slams right down, a little cheap there. So while the 2016 Chevrolet Sonic may not have the nicest interior or the best fuel efficiency, it's still a reasonable pick for a subcompact car. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.